Hey, Section 3, so here's your Week 1 wrap-up. We started out with very, very nice posts. This is by far the best first week of a course that I have seen. A ton of literature added to the boards, and then just some really, really high performers. To recognize Julie, Aaron, Zach, and Sam, you guys did a really nice job of adding extra literature to your posts, having some really great self-reflection and good detail in your post in regards to the stimulus questions. We had a lot of great extra conversations that were going on regarding scope of practice, and then a lot of discussion regarding photo and outcomes, and it was just a great week and a lot of fun as far as first weeks go. So this week we did talk about medical screening and kind of the big picture things. So to talk a little bit about our red flag screening, it comes down to sort of three questions. Do I treat this patient? Do I refer this patient out? Or do I treat and then consult someone else? And that's what you will hopefully have an answer to by the time you get done with your subjective and objective examinations. We can't really forget about our yellow flag screening, so screening for depression. And some severe depression can also be considered a red flag. And then also screening for kinesiophobia, fear of movement, in our yellow flag. That, if some of this is just outside of your scope, then if it's fairly significant, it might require consulting a psychologist as well as your treatments with a psychologically informed approach. We talked about screening the spine for all of our upper extremity issues, and what does screening the spine really mean? Active range of motion probably should be going into combined ranges of motion, and then overpressure of all those motions would be warranted to clear that spine. We may run across lots of things that are not causing the issue in the upper extremity, but may play a role in our regional interdependence. Talked about our hypothesis-driven model, so having a list of hypotheses in our minds and trying to whittle that down as much as we can through the subjective and come up with a concise list that we need to do some physical testing to further rule down. We also talked about the test, treat, retest model and how this can help guide our treatments, but can also be part of that red flag screening, that if we're not getting the changes that we think that we should be getting in a reasonable amount of visits or time, that we would need to refer back at that point. Had some pretty good discussion on functional outcome tools. A lot of people are using the DASH or Quick Dash, and then a lot of people mentioned photo, which takes a lot of those yellow flags into account as well. So for next week, we're discussing shoulder impingement. You guys are going to start working on your CAT projects, and then our fellow cases are due. In regards to our CAT projects, Bravo initially had 2 articles. So if you downloaded the Dropbox early, it had 2 articles in for Bravo, but we're only going to be working on the BISSET article for Bravo. So if you have any questions, just reach out to me or your TA, Danielle, in Bravo. Or if you guys have any problems, don't hesitate to reach out and do it proactively. Okay, again, great job, guys, and I will see you on the boards.